chain. There's a lot of misinformation in the market, and I think, as I'm sure we'll talk about as we're up here, I think in some ways you have these kind of holy wars playing out. One of them is this idea that, hey, these things will never solve payments problems at scale because of the volatility. Let's think about that for a minute. So I can enable an XRP transaction in 3 seconds, and so I have to take the volatility risk of XRP for 3 seconds. Or I can use fiat and use a wire transfer, and I'll say through SWIFT, and that usually is about 3 days. 3 days is 270,000 seconds. So it's almost 100,000 seconds, 100,000 times longer than an XRP transaction. The way you calculate volatility is volatility times time. So if you reduce the time by a dramatic amount, even if the volatility is a lot higher, you actually have less volatility risk through an XRP transaction than you do a fiat transaction with SWIFT. Now, the other thing I'll point out is, people will say, well, couldn't XRapid use Bitcoin? And the answer actually is it could. And we've even thought about, architecting the product. There may be circumstances where we would use that because of liquidity. But a Bitcoin transaction today, on average, takes about 45 minutes in, 45 minutes out. So you're talking about an hour and a half of volatility risk as opposed to 3 seconds. So we think XRP is very uniquely positioned to solve that cross-border payments problem.
Yeah, you may